Felicia here, and today we're going to be making a hoodie using the Loklik Crafter Cutting Machine and glow-in-the-dark puff vinyl sent to us by our friends at Sendale. Let's get started. In Loklik Idea Studio software, we're going to start with a blank canvas, and we're simply going to add some text using the text tool. And I'm just going to type in fresh and Felicia. All right, so by default, it's showing up in millimeters, and I want to change that to inches. So I'm going to click off of the image and right-click in the upper left corner and change that to inches. So now when I click on it, it is in inches. But I also want to change the font. So with this image or this text selected, the properties box is open, and I can choose the drop-down arrow next to the fonts. And you get a set of fonts with the Loklik software, but then there's system fonts that pull any fonts off of your computer. And you can scroll through that list and find what you're looking for, or you can use the search box at the top and type in the first few letters of a font, and it will find it for you and select it. All right, so then you can grab a corner to adjust the size in or out to make it what you want, or you can grab one of these center boxes and it will also adjust it this way. Once you're happy with the size, you can move it to where you want on the canvas. This is going to be done with puff vinyl, and I'm going to put Fresh Felicia on the front, but I'm going to also want to put something on the back, kind of a warning symbol. I'm going to go under Pattern. I'm going to choose a triangle. Right, and I can size that as big or as small as I want. And this is going on the back of my hoodie. So we're going to make this kind of big because we're going to use Day Glow, glow-in-the-dark puff vinyl so that we can be seen in the dark when we're walking the dog. So we're going to make this about 6.5 inches wide. Now I'm also going to go back up under the text tool, and I'm going to add an exclamation mark. And I'm going to adjust the size of that. Okay, and I'm also going to go under Properties on the right, and I'm going to change the color of that to white. And I will drag that over to my triangle and then size it to fit in that space. I can select both and align that horizontally. And then once I'm happy with it, select both again. And this time I'm going to go on the icon toolbar across the top, and I'm going to click on Slice. When I do that, I can now see that I have a slice in my triangle, and that's what's going to be on the back of my shirt. So I can delete this exclamation mark. And these are the two things I want to cut on my puff vinyl. So the next thing we're going to do is go under Connect, and we're going to do a standard cut. We're already Bluetooth connected to our Loklik machine, and we're going to be using a 12x12 cutting mat. I am going to select all the layers because I want them all cut. Now the brand of material I'm using is not Loklik, but I'm going to try one of the Loklik settings for flocked HTV and see how it cuts through this puff vinyl. I think it should work out okay, so I'm just going to click on Cut. Now, one thing I do need to close this down here, I did already click on the mirror icon here, canvas mirror, and that is going to flip it on the next screen when I actually go to do the cut, and it's going to push everything to the right of the canvas. Cut screen, you can see that both the triangle and Fresh and Felicia have been moved to the right, and that's where I need to have my vinyl laid out before I click Start, and then we can go ahead and go over to the machine and get this thing cutting. Click Start in the software. So we're going to be using this glow-in-the-dark green puff vinyl, and we're going to turn it upside down so the color side or the shiny side is face down on our mat.